Okay. Oopsie. All right, so we are going to go through each chapter of the rhythmic training book that you see up here by Robert Starr, and you can see mine's been around quite a long time, as have some of us, or I should say me. Anyway, my name is Martha Shackford. I'm a violin teacher trainer, the Suzuki Association. I've been teaching for well over 50 years, and I've been teaching rhythmic training for, I don't know, well over half of that, maybe more, probably 30 or 40 years. Anyway, this is what we're going to do is I'm going to explain what I do as a teacher with my students with this book. And it's not necessary for you to buy the big book, the one that says workbook and it'll be blue and white. The kids don't need that. This is the teacher manual, but it's a smaller book. Actually, this is it. You can see about what size it is. It's not one of the bigger books. And you're going to explain everything to the children. They're not going to be it's not going to be beneficial for them to have the workbook anyway. So what I have to do on this is to teach you what I do and then teach it in such a way that you can practice it for yourself. So getting out of this one and getting into the first lesson of the book, which is chapter 1, and it'll say exercise 4. I don't really use the stuff that happens before that. I just explain things to the students as we go along. My students start this at book 2. They haven't had any reading until that point. And I keep rhythm and melody separate. I use Joanne Martin's book, I Can Read Music, to start with. On melody, I only do the melody side. I don't do the rhythm side, the pitch side, but not the rhythm side, because I'm using this rhythmic training approach. And what I like so much about this rhythmic training approach is it involves the whole body, and the rhythm becomes a part of the person. It's not an intellectual process. Obviously, we have to think rhythm, sure, but if we have to spend our time in the left side of our brain really analyzing, trying to figure everything out, then it's very artificial, and that becomes difficult. So at the beginning of chapter 1, my students are young. They're 5 and up, most likely. And so it depending upon the age of the child and the child's learning process, will depend on how quickly we go through particularly this very first exercise. The very first exercise is actually the most important in the entire book. Once they get so that they can play this page, not play, but I mean this page easily, then the rest is going to come much, much easier. So the first chapter is about the quarter note beat, getting one count, and then we introduce half notes, dotted half notes, and whole notes, but nothing that divides the beat. Chapter 2 will divide the beat into eighth notes in 2 equal parts. All right, so this has a conducting component. You can see at the top of the page. We've got down, up. So let me see here. I want to make sure this is recording. Let's see here. I'm pretty positive it is, but let me double check it. Oh, okay. I'm double checking the wrong spot. Okay. So I'll be right back with the screen share. Recording, yes, okay. Alrighty. All right. So you'll see at the top there's a conducting component, and for 2/4 time, 2 beats per measure, The kids enjoy doing the conducting, and I ceremoniously give them a conducting baton to use during the lesson, encouraging the parents to get them a stick. Sometimes they do it as a reward for finishing chapter 1. Anyway, I want them to know that when the stick goes down, it's exactly that. It's a downbeat, 1. And when it comes up, it's the upbeat. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And you see that I'm emphasizing the first beat. So whenever the stick goes down in a conducting pattern, it is a strong beat. So staccato is 1, 2, 1, 2. Legato, we're going to compare it. We're going to, connect it, and it's going to be a little bit of a J at the bottom, a backwards J. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I want them to be able to say with their voice, 1, 2, 1, 2. And 1, 2, 1, 2. And by now they already know what staccato and legato means. Okay, first exercise after that is to notice what a measure is. And I show them where the bar lines come down, and we count the first line, that there are 5 measures in the first line. I said we call those little boxes measures. Each measure has to have the same number of beats in it according to what the time signature says. And of course, then I show them the time signature 2, 4, and I say in this particular piece we have 2 beats per measure, and that means we can have as many as 2 quarter notes in each measure. Now, they don't have to understand all that. They won't. None of this is going to be explained intellectually until ways down the line, okay? And then it's going to be super easy because it means something. It's not just an exercise in understanding, sort of. It's something that they feel, and it's become a part of them. So I asked them just to make sure they know how many measures there are. I asked them to tell me how many there are in the second line when they count them out, and they say 6, and I watch them count. And then I say, okay, so each one of those measures can only have 2 beats in it, okay, 2 beats. And these down here we call quarter notes. These little black notes are the beats. Now the top notes, there's 2 lines of notes here. The top note is going to be what we call the rhythm, and the bottom note is just the beat. So when we do the beats in this rhythmic training exercise, we do, our feet are going to march the beat. So they go home and they practice 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, emphasizing the first beat. Then we add the left hand to the marching. The left hand also is going to do the beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Some kids can do that the very first week, and they go home with the conducting, the marching, and then the left hand by itself, and then the feet and the left hand together. So that I add each element like that. Okay, so we notice in the very first measure that there's only 1 note. And this has to last for at least how many beats? 2 beats, because we have to have 2 beats in every measure in this particular piece. Not more, not less, exactly 2. So the first one's going to be 1, 2. And then we notice in the next measure, and some kids can get this right away, 1, 2. This is done with the right hand, okay? Then I look at the third and fourth measure and I say, oh my gosh, look at this. Robert Starr is getting kind of tricky because we can only have 2 beats in a measure, but he decided he wanted a note that would last for 3 beats. Okay, well, here's what he did. He took this little thing right here, we tied these 2 notes together. He joined them, which means that we call it a tie too. So it means that we have to leave our hand down all the way through the first beat of the next measure. It has to go 1, 2, 1, and then the 2. Now we've got this little squiggly thing up here. It's pretty cute, actually. We call that a quarter rest. Now a rest is where we really don't, if we were playing the violin with this, we would not play in that part. Okay, we have to feel it. We have to know how long we hold it, but we don't actually make a sound. So this is going to go on our shoulder so we can feel how long it is, and that's a 1, 2. So the first measure, the rhythm, is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, this is probably the third or fourth week, and now they're going to be doing just the first measure for a start. Let's notice what happens. 1, 2. And sometimes I get behind the child and I actually move the hands for them so they understand physically how that feels. Then I say, oh, let's look at the next measure. That one looks pretty easy, doesn't it? The top rhythm is the same as the bottom note. So it's just going to be one beat, one note. So it's going to be 1, 2. So the first two measures, 1, 2, 1, 2. And a lot of times you won't be able to join them. They'll have to go 1, 2, next measure, 1, 2. Okay. Then now we get in this 3-beat thing, and it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I work on the first line very thoroughly until that's easy, and then we go on. Now they don't have to do the whole page, obviously. We're going to just piece it together. Take it a little bit at a time. All right, so here is number 4, the first exercise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and at the beginning I should also explain to them 4 lines from the bottom, the last measure. We've got this little box that hangs off that line or sits on top of the fourth line. I mean, anyway, hangs off the top line. That's a whole rest because it lasts for the whole measure. That's a little confusing, I think. I think it would have been better served maybe to put a half rest there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So also, I want to show them down here, second line from the bottom, that we have a note that lasts for 4 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we have another spot, and you could ask them, where is the other spot where it lasts 4 beats? And of course, it's in the third line, second and third and fourth measures. So we've got 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that is number 4, and you can play it and notice it and practice with me and practice it by yourself. All righty, let's see how we're doing here. Now we're going to do this one. This one is going to be in 3/4 time. You're getting the idea of what happens in chapter 1. We're going through meters, and nothing better than understanding how conducting happens, why we have conductors, what does a conductor need to be. And so now we're going to do a triangle because we are in 3/4 time. So we're going to have heavy, soft, soft. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that would be staccato. Now legato is going to have to reverse on itself a little bit to keep going. So this can be a little confusing for them. So sometimes I just take their arm and do it until they've got the idea. And with the parents as well, actually, because the parents are going to help them at home. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here comes number 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the most difficult spot in this is the last note of the third line and into the next 3 measures of the 4th line. And fortunately, it's repeated 3 times so you can get the feel of it. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. And let's see, I think that was it. Yeah. All right, let's go on to number 6, exercise 6. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right. This thing needs to go away. It needs to go down here. There. Okay. All right. So we did exercise 4, exercise 5. Let's see what this is. Oh, I think this is number 4 again. Sorry. All right. All right, here comes exercise 6. Now, we're going to be doing 4/4 time. And it says up here, strong, weak, sort of strong, weak. I don't honor that third beat being heavier than the rest, than 2 and 4. I just want them to get, I'm happy if they get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I find that getting the accent on the downbeat is one of the bigger challenges, but it's really, really important as this method goes on, as it gets more complicated. All right, so we notice we've got 4 beats in the measure. We can look at the time signature. We've got 4 beats, and that means quarter note gets the beat, so you can have 4 quarter notes in a measure. So the conducting is kind of like a sailboat, down, in, out, up. And staccato, of course, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And legato, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We notice that we now have something called a whole note, which is down here, third line from the bottom. And it's a whole note because it takes up the entire measure. It gets 4 full beats. And this particular whole note is tied to the quarter note of the next measure. And I want them to be able to tell me that that means it's held for 5 beats. But it's counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay? And then we notice at the end of the piece that it's the same thing. We have a whole note that lasts for the whole measure. All right, so here we go. Number 6. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, they're marching while they're doing this. The reason why I'm not doing that is because it doesn't fit on Zoom on my camera from my computer. So you just have to imagine that I'm marching at the same time. The students, of course, are going to stand up and do this. Okay. And then I think, did we have any strange or different? No, I think that's it. We still only have, no, here we go. Fourth line from the bottom, second measure, we've got a half rest, and that's new, I think. Anyway, we want to point out that this is 2 beats of waiting, and this is only 1 beat of waiting, okay? Or we could say 1 beat of silence, but that's not totally accurate, is it? All right, now we're ready for number 7, which will be 5s. Okay, so in 5s, we have 2 possibilities. We have 3 plus 2, and we have 2 plus 3. Now this conducting is a triangle, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down and up, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I point out to them that this is the way that if they go back to the beginning of what they just did and they look at their 3 and they look at their 2, they'll see 2 goes down and up and 3 is a triangle. And now we're just superimposing one on top of the other. So we're going, these 2, I write this up on the top of their page, is actually written this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we conduct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I always want them to do staccato and legato. Okay, and then we notice that in the very last part of this, we've got a dotted half note, which gets 3 beats, and a half note, which gets 2 beats. Now, this is a distinction that needs to be pointed out because they haven't had this before. These measures are actually divided into 2 sections, aren't they? And they're divided by these dots that come down. So in this exercise, number 7, you're going to do 3, then they have the dots, and then 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down here, we're going to reverse it. Excuse me, we're going to do just the opposite. So, number 7, 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you notice that I hold the notes according to the length of the note. I hold it with my voice. The kids just kind of automatically start doing that. Occasionally I want to tell someone if they've gone on a little bit long and they haven't gotten hold of that. So that the voice can be, that what we're using right now for the instrument is the voice. Okay, now 2 plus 3. We just reverse everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we go. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I made a mistake in that first measure of the last line, but you can figure that out. Okay, we're going to go on to number 9, which is a combination of those two. So it's a little more complicated. They have to tell me, okay, that's a 2 plus 3, that's a 3 plus 2, that's a 3 plus 2, and so on. And they have to be able to conduct it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's actually best that they go through the whole thing with the conducting. Now you're going to notice that in lines 4 and 5, I've got some editing. It started out as the first measure of the fourth line, that was a whole note tied to that, not tied. So, and then the same thing here. So that visually is not the way we would see it written out. And I don't think there are very many orchestra parts that would actually have a whole note here and then just one quarter note there. So I made that a dotted half tied to a quarter, dotted half tied to a quarter. And then down here, the same kind of thing. They had half note here. And so I just filled it in and filled it in there and then tied it together. So this is a quarter, 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 quarter. So that's why you see it like that. And you see my brackets are just assignments I give the kids. I must have picked this book up used or something. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. 5s. Oh, they have to be able to conduct this straight through. I think I said that. Yeah. So here we go. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and you'll see second line from the bottom, first measure, there's a dotted half note rest. And that's good to be pointed out that it is the same as a dotted half note, but this we don't play during that time if we're having a violin, if we're playing the violin. And then at the end that we've got 5 dates, we've got that figured out. Okay, so the next one is 10, exercise 10, and it's going to be 6s. I bet you guessed that already. There's 2 kinds of 6s. There is 3 plus 3, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Now, the more common, as you musicians know, is 3 plus 3 when you have a measure of 6, so that the measure is divided, in other words, into 2 parts. So 2 plus 2 plus 2. In this particular exercise, we're going to have the 2 plus 2 plus 2. Look at the second line, last measure. It's delineated so that we know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in all the other measures where it's 3 plus 3, we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there's no dots in the middle of the measure. That would be too confusing to have it both ways. And then as far as new note is concerned, We have a dotted whole note in the third line, first measure. We haven't had that before. And then at the end, we have the same thing. So conducting is down, in, out, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down, in, out, up. Or down, left, right, up. So staccato, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Legato, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And obviously the 4 has to really come over to be strong, right? Then you've got 2 plus 2 plus 2. It's just like a triangle, only we're going to stay there for a second beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and here we go. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Going on, and you can imagine now we're going to have 7s. And there are 3 different kinds of 7s. And exercise 11 is 4 plus 3. Exercise 12, 3 plus 4. And when we turn the page, exercise 13 will be 2 plus 3 plus 2. All right, so this is just going to be conducted the way a 4 pattern has been. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by a 3 pattern, 5, 6, 7. So when we come down, it's heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so here we go. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And number 12, just the opposite. 3 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 and 4 are heavy. Okay. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a lot of kids will notice that the last note is a whole note and then there are 2 dots. So that might be, they want to know how that could happen. And so that might be a good time to show them what the dots mean if they're asking about it. Okay, next we've got 2 plus 3 plus 2. In number 13 and number 14, we're going to mix them all up. So this is going to be basically this pattern that you see up here, I think of more as a triangle. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then that way, when it starts to all fit together later on, it'll make more sense because, well, in this particular exercise, there are 3 places in the measure where we have heavy beats, right? 1, 3, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if they think of it as a triangle, here's a heavy beat, here's a heavy beat, here's a heavy beat, where the big direction happens, where the big motion happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so here we go. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, number 14 is very important because number 15, if you can't do 14 easily, 15 is impossible. Okay, so here we got them all mixed up, don't we? And I want the kids to go through the whole thing and tell me by measure what it is. So the first measure, 4 plus 3. Next, 2 plus 3 plus 2. Then 3 plus 4, 2 plus 3 plus 2, etc. Okay? So then I want them also to be able to conduct that. So it's a little tricky. It might take a couple of weeks, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course, when they're actually marching their feet, the hands are going to be at the sides. Okay. All right, going on to number 15, which is graduation from chapter 1. It's a big deal, believe me. And they have to be able to perform this perfectly without stopping anywhere or making mistakes. And they have to be able to conduct all the way through, which is actually harder. Okay, so conducting. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And here we go. Ready and 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yay, you just graduated. Bravissimo. I'm going to do these videos by chapters. So this is the end of the first one. And I will see you in the second one. Okay. To be revealed.